Oh, yo,
Yo,
we're here.
we're live.
We're
We're doing
live.
it.
We're
We're
we
doing it.
we're recording. We're live. We're doing the whole shebang. We're back in full
Woo!
gear.
In a while, we've usually just been recording offline.
Yeah, our schedule's been a little weird, but
Mm-hmm.
it's good to be back to the usual, the casual. But of course, you're here with us at United We Nerd, a podcast where we just sit around, talk about a lot of nerdy stuff that's going on, and we do have a good chunk of stuff to talk about today.
I'm gonna rant a little too. I'm gonna rant.
Oh,
I'm gonna rant.
we're gonna get spicy. We're gonna get
We're gonna get
spicy.
spicy. I mean, I guess. We'll
Well,
see.
before Joel goes on the spice train, we just like to remind everybody out there, of course, if you're with us here live on twitch.tv/United We Nerd, you can chat with us live during the podcast and hang out with us as well. But don't worry if you can't, because we also live in the audio and the VOD realm on any podcast service that you listen to, and of course at youtube.com/at United We Nerd. I guess a little bit of house clean before we kind of get started today. So we obviously, as you know, we have a second YouTube channel, UWN Replay, where we have all of our, or actually no, I'm sorry, UWN Rewind. Wow, it has been a minute.
I guess we have another channel coming out.
Oh no,
It's expanding
not yet.
and expanding.
Not yet. But where there you can watch all of our gameplay streams as well as the Weekend Warrior streams, and possibly more streams to be added on later. Little ominous hint that we are going to be streaming gameplay more.
Hell yeah.
Because it's fun.
Should have streamed yesterday, but it's server maintenance. I should have recorded it. But we're having fun.
Yeah. Okay. So with that out of the way, Joel, what's making you so spicy? I need to know. Tell me the deets.
So Destiny 2 came out with their state of the game. I talked about it a little. People are still on it. I'm still on it. Okay. There's pros and cons, right? I mean,
so
people are upset for sure.
So I'm actually completely blind. I haven't read it, even though you told me to. I haven't. So I want to listen straight from your mouth. What are they?
I mean, it's 6,000 words. It's saying what they're gonna do in the future, how they're leaving kind of Gambit behind. That's upsetting a lot of people. They're getting rid of like some armor sets, but people are upset that they're putting more money towards Eververse. The Gambit thing I kind of get. They're gonna add like one map back. Dreaming City, when they're gonna put in Lucent Hive, add the new Shadow Legion. Don't know if they're adding Tormentors. The Gambit thing I kind of get. I get people are upset about that. It was kind of their fault. They let it to die, and then people stopped playing. It's like, well, you're not playing. We're not going to update it. It's like, whose fault is that?
I mean,
so
that's fair.
Yeah, but I'm also like, where'd all these Gambit people come from? But also, same logic.
I was like, it's like I thought everybody was on the consensus that Gambit was bad like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they'll point at Bungie. It's like, you did this, and it's like, well, they kind of made it like you could get Pinnacle stuff if you want to play it. But yeah, it's just a little strange
because I know to me that you can't get like massive awards anymore from it, right?
Not really. You can just Pinnacle stuff. I mean, if you have Malfeasance, you can still get it. But I think Thorn back in the day might have been tied to it. I don't even remember. It's been so long.
How much of that is Bungie's fault, though? If it's like, if the data shows that is a game mode that barely anyone plays, it's like, yeah, the hardcore Gambit fans are going to be mad, which is understandable because there is hardcore Gambit fans out there. We see those titles. We see those titles every once in a while. Those Dredgens.
I see the Dredgens and the Reckoners.
But for a live service game like this, like, and anyone out there, this isn't me trying to defend Bungie. This is just kind of being logical for a live service game. If there is a service that isn't being utilized to its fullest potential, as far as it being used by the players, like, they've tried to change Gambit like 3 times,
Even more probably than that.
even more so, and people still aren't coming back to like a massive amount of people still aren't coming back to play. It stands to reason they're not gonna waste their time and their manpower to try to make Gambit attractive again, where they could put it onto like story content and like other stuff. And I know,
Mhm.
and the Crucible is a whole nother thing. The Crucible is something that's just kind of weird.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's not
That's
like
one of the
nobody's
points of
playing
contention
Crucible.
too. Like hell of people play Crucible. There's data for that.
Like
We're
Crucible,
getting
like
one new
Iron
map.
Banner.
Iron Banner is mixed. People are always complaining about it no matter what. But yeah, Eververse seems to be a point of contention. For that. People are like, how come we don't get ritual armor anymore? But you'll have 20 ornament sets to sell. And my point to that is, you
Fair.
guys have to remember they are a business. I mean, people will say you're
Yeah.
defending the billionaires. I'm like, I love the game, but I know what they're there for.
Okay.
There's a lot of that. You're
So
defending the billionaires. They don't know how to allocate their funds.
okay, so
There's a lot of
I'll yes, when it comes to a company, you should know better that they will want your money. But to call the people that work at Bungie billionaires is a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, people are saying like, you guys are bootlickers now, and it's like, I don't think you're using that right.
It's like I don't
But
think you understand how the video game industry works. And
yeah, and then
that's not saying
yeah,
that I know how the video game industry works. I just understand that it's just more complicated than, why did you just make a good game? Make a good game. It's like, why do you need our
People come,
money? It's like, well, we need
people
fucking
complain
money
like,
to
I
make a
want the
game.
old Bungie back. It's kind of like MCU almost. Like, I want the old one back. This isn't how I remember it. Lightfall sucks, and then there's some content creators.
I love Lightfall.
Of course, that's their job, right? That too. They're like perpetuating it. They want the clicks, they want the clout, they want the anger to get people to go on their stuff. And there's a few who are in the middle. That's good. One definitely was saying this is how you run a game company, and this other content creator called him out. It's like, no, it's not. So just be careful, but just also, I may have said it before a million times, just take a break. I mean, if Destiny's your only game, I guess you don't have a choice, but also you don't have to spend the money on Eververse. No one's holding a
You don't.
fucking gun to your head.
You don't.
I
I do because they made fucking Kratos as
Brian,
armor.
this is
I'm a
some of the things
shill.
too that comes up. Brian doesn't even play as much as I do. That's not like a
Oh
better or
no.
whatever.
I
That came up.
haven't played in almost a month.
People like argue like, I have this amount of hours and this is what I think. It's like, bro, no one gives a fuck. Like they want your money at the end of the day. No offense, sorry. One guy's like, I have X amount of hours and I have double, and I was about to say like, yeah, I still enjoy it though, right? Like I take breaks, but just, I mean, state of the game, it seems pretty shitty to a lot of people. I understand where people are coming from, but also it's like, yeah, you should touch grass. Take a break. Do something else. Play another game. I'm so glad Street Fighter 6 and Exo Primal came out. And if you're hurting for Gambit, all those Gambit people who are fucking upset, go play Exo Primal. That's literally better Gambit.
It's a Gambit player's dream.
Yeah, I mean, I even put a TikTok video of like me summoning a dinosaur with Gambit music, because that's what it literally is. You're invading with a dinosaur. It's the same fucking shit, honestly. But
you got enough moats, summon that T-Rex.
Right? It's just, that's literally it. It's super fun. It's even, I think it's dumber than Gambit.
Oh, it's super dumb, but it's fantastic.
Yeah,
now,
it's fun. And yeah, just the community sucks too. I have to say, this one streamer told one of the community managers they knew they were epileptic, and they tweeted at them, "Go stand in front of a strobing light bulb." That's why they don't tell us shit too. People harassing people that work for them.
The people that complain wonder why the community managers don't deal with us anymore.
Yeah.
And I would like to optimistically believe that it is still a minority of the group, but it is the very vocal minority of the Destiny community.
Vocal. Oh my god.
And like Destiny is like an almost 10-year-old, or Destiny 2 by itself is almost a 10-year-old game.
I'm playing this game for way too long. It's time to take a break. It's time to move on.
Now, to play a little bit of devil's advocate, yeah, it's kind of weird that we were approaching the final year of the 10-year promise for Destiny, and it seems like they're starting to kind of pull back more than they should be letting on, which I will agree, if you're trying to ramp up a conclusion to a story, you shouldn't be, fluttering the gas pedal. You should be kind of going full throttle at this point. And maybe that's their idea for the final year. Like maybe at the end of the month when they do have their showcase and, they show us everything about the final shape, it is going to be pedal to metal. And they just
Mhm.
kind of wanted to have Lightfall be, kind of like the bridge from Witch Queen over to the final shape. But it also sucks because that means there's going to be less stuff to do. It's
Mhm.
kind of like what was it was it was kind of like what was it, the Dark Below? Was that the
The
second
Corona one?
expansion? The second expansion?
Talking about for Destiny 1 or 2? Dark Below is Destiny 1.
Oh, it was Destiny 1. What was the second expansion for 2?
Warmind?
Was it Warmind?
First one was Curse of Osiris.
Well, my analogy is that from then until we got to the third expansion, you know,
Forsaken.
Forsaken. Forsaken was like the moment where it's like, oh shit, Destiny, like they weren't just like dragging their heels. Like they
Mhm.
like sure, like the first 2 years were kind of like, okay, so what are we doing? And then, now you have, a lot more content with Forsaken and then in the future. And so like the past few years, with like the Witch Queen and stuff like that, like they have been, doing a good amount of shit. Like the whole year with Witch Queen, they did a lot of shit that, some people may have forgotten. Like, they had a whole story that lasted almost an entire year. They had, new stuff that new missions to do and new
Mhm.
they readjusted some things a little bit, and then we got two live events. We got two live events in that 1 year for story, which they still haven't done ever
Good.
since, which is kind of sad because that was kind of cool. It kind of gave it a little Fortnite vibe to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm also very I recognize that I'm also a very casual player when it comes to Destiny 2, so I'm not deep in the fucking fields as you are. So like when I see that they are, you know, slowing down a little bit, or at least they're focusing on the future more than they're focusing on the present, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because last year was so good. And so you want to hope that maybe, things will start to pick up again after the summer's over and they have their presentation, and then, they'll ramp up to the final shape because it should be the epic, conclusion that it should be.
Yeah.
And I know it's very easy for people to damn Bungie for doing the slightest of grievances, which I'm not saying
Mhm.
that some of these are slight grievances, but still, to go to the point to where, you go attack a community managers and like dev teams, you wonder why they don't tell us shit anymore.
Yeah. And to your point, like people they notice it's slowing down. It's like, oh, because they're giving up, they're going to marathon. It's like, yeah, they need something after Destiny 2. It is coming to an end, everyone. It'll probably be up for a few years after. Yeah, it'll be like they'll be just making sure it runs okay, or as some say, the string that's barely holding it together, which I do feel sometimes. But
If you think that the content stream right now is shit, wait until the final shape is over with and we're going to get fucking nothing for a
it's gonna be all
long time.
marathon.
We're going to get like seasonal stuff that we've seen many times before. You're going to bake those damn cookies again. I guarantee it.
Always.
But
Always.
Bungie's at the point where now they have to start thinking of life past Destiny. And that's not saying Destiny is going away. It's just going to take a back seat for a little while until they can regroup and either think of the next story or wholesale revamp Destiny so they can get rid of the two and make it for a bigger platform and make it easier for new players to get in because new players still have the shittiest time to start playing Destiny.
They're gonna Master Chief Collection it at some point, I bet. Yeah, it just all the money going to Marathon. All these PvP people, you guys going to Marathon? Because you're all a lot of people are saying. I like how someone said it. I was of course on Reddit. Probably not the best place to go that polarized views, but it's like it's an airport. Everyone's letting them know they're leaving. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I just want to see to the end, and yeah, I'm gonna take a big step back. Like, again, play other things and maybe check out Marathon. If you're done, then it's over. What I thought was the most interesting is someone shared online that it did not stop player engagement, despite everyone giving like
Well,
like
of course not. Why
right.
would
And
it?
I just saw new people today. I was just running around working on a catalyst I just got, and I saw level 1 person on the Cosmotron. So
Oh,
I've actually been seeing more new people playing than veterans, which was fair. I guess veterans are fed up, but it's just funny, like the ebb and flow. It's like, oh, all the people who were upset left, but because they were making such a big hubbub, probably brought in people or they returned. Like, oh, why are people upset? Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll play. So
I mean,
it's just
I guess that's just the nature of a live service game. Eventually people will grow out of it,
Mhm.
and then new people look in and see stuff that they like, and they'll try it out, and then they'll become new fans until the next expansion comes out that pisses them off, and then the cycle repeats
Yeah,
and repeats and repeats.
yeah.
Mm.
So just want to get that out of the way. It's been on my mind a lot. If we said it already, sorry. Well, we said it again. But yeah, we have a showcase coming in what 14 days, so I'm
Was it
sure
the
that'll answer a lot
22nd,
of questions.
25th?
Yeah, 22nd, I think. But yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of make or break for people. It's probably gonna be my make or break too. I'll still probably end up playing. Sorry, shilling it out. They're like my Disney for you. Like I'm still gonna probably throw down and be in it. Give it my time. Moving on to another. I'm just gonna hard pivot away because we give Destiny a lot of attention. Um,
Oh yeah.
I will say the other game we used to play a lot for like with a bunch of friends is Overwatch, and Overwatch 2 has new content this week. They're finally gonna have their
Yeah.
PvE game mode on Thursday at noon. I finally watched the new trailer. It looks good. One of our buddies who's been on stream, Jameson, he shared on Twitter. I watched it. New skins, of course, new mode. There's like a training mode or a hero like version of it. Like they go, I see they're doing like an obstacle course. It's like Reinhardt and stuff, and
Oh,
it
okay.
looks like fun. And to tie in back to Destiny, even though I pivoted away, I think that's where people are gonna go. They're gonna go from Destiny 2 back to Overwatch.
You think
So
so?
I think it looked good. Honestly, I saw the appeal, and I watched the Sojourn trailer too, the cinematic. It was really clean. I forget they make like a good little story. It's good. It's fun. I know I rag on Overwatch a lot,
So
but
so do you
still looks like
think
fun.
do you think because we talked about this a while ago when they announced that they were scrapping the story mode, and they're like repurposing it and kind of doing the like seasonal like story drops, like
Yeah.
missions, kind of like how Overwatch 1 was.
Mm.
So just by like looking at the trailer and stuff, did it look like it would be something that's more, attractive, compared to what they were doing before?
I mean, it really shows like there's a PvE mode, which I was interested in. Like, I love all the heroes. I don't always want to be fucking being yelling at an enemy Reaper, or whatever. So it looks interesting. I'm just curious. Is it like a kind of like so primal? Is that one map, a bunch of things happening? Well, they have more than one map. You know what I'm saying? Different
Hmm.
locations, different enemies, or is it like, is it like a linear path, like a Strike in Destiny? Go through that. At the end, there's a boss. Like, I don't know, but it looks like they're doing it. They're doing the PVE thing, and I think it's free to play too. If you want more stuff, of course, the season pass, so you could jump in and
Yeah.
do it. And I gotta say, some of the skins look really good. I was like, God damn it. Almost bringing me back in, but we'll see. It is free to play, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that sun.
Sun be shining on you.
I know, shit, the one hitting the fucking camera. Yeah, just had to We used to talk about it. We have that episode where before shit hit the fan, you know, um,
You
with
can say that
Overwatch, we
again.
have that. Yeah, with the retrospective, we should do an updated one eventually. We keep talking about it, but check that out if you haven't watched it already, or listen to it, I guess. But yeah, looks fun. I'm sure a bunch of our friends will be going back into it. Um, I don't know if I will anytime soon, but it does look fun.
Cool.
I just wanted to say that that's big news. So this Thursday, watch I think is gonna. It looked like a maker, like a trailer that really like encapsulates what Overwatch is, I think, and I felt like some old old vibes that were good from it.
Kind of brings that back that nostalgia of the early days of Overwatch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
A new son.
I'll definitely check it out for sure. I'm never fully out of Overwatch, even though I feel like I am. I'll dip my toe back in when there's something, you know, at least a little bit exciting to watch or play, you know.
Mhm.
I'm just hoping that they figured out a plan and they act on it without trying to seem like they're half-assing things.
Oh, they're putting out fires in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the trailer, I forgot to say, revealed a new character. I think her name is Alari. It's a support
Alari.
hero, I believe. Yeah, she's got like a nice little gun.
Wait, another
Looks like
support character?
I believe it's support. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Wasn't their most recent one a support character?
Life Weaver. Yeah, I didn't even get a
Interesting.
chance to play him. Damn.
It's a lot of
Hold
support
on, let me
characters.
close the blinds here. Holy shit.
Well, it looks like one of two things. It looks like for people that are not watching this, it looks like either someone like threw a smoke grenade or Joel's hotboxing his living room.
Okay.
Ah, there you go.
Jesus.
Sun defeated.
Right, for now. The golden sun.
um, I just wanted to bring up a little quick thing. So yesterday, uh, there was the launch trailer for WrestleQuest, which was really cool. And of course, there was a lot of promotion for the launch of WrestleQuest that was supposed to be today. Well, at like the 11th hour yesterday, it was announced that they were going to be delaying the release until the 22nd because they found out that one of the versions of WrestleQuest had a very interesting bug that would delete your gameplay or your game save.
Oh, that's pretty big.
And for an 80-hour RPG, I don't think that's a good thing.
Mm-mm.
uh
I didn't know it was they were working with Netflix for this game. That's crazy.
yeah, they're gonna be having it on their gaming service or for like the Netflix app. But yeah, I was kind of sad because I was really looking forward to playing a little bit today, and I saw the news that it got pushed back, which really sucks because like they were so like ready for launch, they were doing press for it and everything, and then just to come out and say it's like, oh shit, we have to push it back again. It's like fuck, all right. But I can't wait. It looks like a really cool game. If you really love wrestling and you're kind of into RPGs, or even hell, if you're not even into wrestling, you love RPGs, when this game comes out, check it out. I played it at PAX West last year, and even the build then, it was really cool. And they have so many old wrestlers in it. It was wild. But yeah,
Fun.
I just wanted to point that out just because it's kind of like a really interesting story. You don't really hear too many games say they have to delay right before they come out.
I mean, good choice. I mean, you don't want to deal with that, and then all these people get in there hella upset. So
Yeah,
better to do that now.
especially because if my process of elimination is correct, it would have been the version that I was gonna buy. So,
Damn.
so you know what? In retrospect, just gotta just fix it, bring it out. I'll play it on the plane when we go to PAX.
Hell yeah.
It's a win-win.
Speaking of win-win, didn't you watch SummerSlam this weekend?
I did. Oh boy. Summer like I find it so interesting, and I don't know how many people that listen to our podcast give a shit about wrestling, so I'm gonna try to keep this as short as I can. Um, I always find it interesting to see what people on the internet think about a pay-per-view, or at least like one of the big shows,
Mhm.
and see where like the zeitgeist is, or at least the zeitgeist of what I would consider people that share their opinions online. And I saw it with a few of my wrestling friends, and we had a blast, we had a good time. And then I saw a bunch of people on the internet say they didn't like the show at all, and I'm like, okay. And it kind of, some things I can kind of understand, some things that I I kind of look at as being the internet wrestling community kind of just being what it's always been, and kind of being very quick to judgment without seeing the full process. Mostly for the last match, the bloodline match. Um, but yeah, overall, I had a blast. I had a fun time. Just hang around, make some jokes. Seeing some people do what they do best, and had a good time. Show was kind of fucking long though. Show was like 4.5 hours long.
Damn. How long is it usually?
Uh, most are like 3 hours, but since this is technically considered like one of their big four like shows, like I understand why it was a little bit longer, but it was really like 5 to 9,
Yeah.
a little with like a little bit extra if you count the pre-show. So it's just like, oh shit, okay. Like they didn't hit the main event until close to close to 9 o'clock. It's like, fuck, okay. It's that kind of. I'm glad it was on a Saturday, because if it was on a Sunday, I would fucking be tired as shit. But yeah,
So what do you think were their top 3 moments from SummerSlam this year?
top three. Well, first and foremost, LA Knight fucking won
Yeah.
the Slim Jim Battle Royale, and immediately after he won, they showed a commercial of him being in the Slim Jim commercial, being as much of LA Knight as he possibly can be. But what was cool though is they had Bianca Belair also in it, but then they also had an old like CRT TV in like the corner, and it had like the Macho Man commercial kind of
Oh,
playing.
nice.
So you had the
Throwback.
Macho Man going, "Oh yeah," and then you had LA Knight going, "Yeah." It's like, oh, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they
Mhm.
were doing. Uh, but yeah, LA Knight finally winning, a big, a big thing. Like, even though it's like, oh, it's the Slim Jim Battle Royale, it doesn't really fucking matter. You know, it's still like a pretty big deal, especially since he eliminated the biggest dude by himself, which I thought was amazing. And it's like, okay, they're ready to send him, uh, sailing away, up into the stratosphere. Um, let's see what else. Uh, the triple threat for the women's championship was pretty cool. Um, Originally going into it, I wasn't too super psyched about it, just because I'm personally I'm not a hater, but I am kind of personally tired of Charlotte Flair, because they don't really give her a personality. They give her the characteristics of takes a hiatus, comes back, immediately gets put into the title picture, either wins the title and stays for a little bit, or loses the title and kind of fucks off again. and so it gets kind of tiring, like the 11th time you see it. Um, but you know what? Every I've been proven wrong, and every time that they've had a match, it's always a great match. It was Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Asuka. Asuka being the champion coming into it. It was a real good match. Everybody, did what they do. Bianca even had a kind of like kayfabe like knee injury where where EMT started kind of carrying her backstage, but then she did the whole Mick Foley thing where she shoved him away and started limping back to the ring and trying to do it, and then she ends up winning the match. Immediately right after, though, Io Sky comes out with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bailey helps knock out the other people, cashes in, and Io becomes the new champion. It was real cool. And then Dakota Kai came in, so all damage control was there. It was kind of like one big celebration, which was really neat. I think that was like one of the biggest surprises for me of the night. And as much as some people think it was kind of whack, I still really like the Bloodline match. It was real good. Also, kind of slightly because they went into the crowd and they went to the kind of like the press area and like the press and like the comp ticket area, and then uh they're teasing throwing Jey Uso into a table, and then you just start hearing this really loud voice, and I was like, it's like that's a voice that sounds familiar. It sounds like a voice I hear almost every day. And then sure enough, the camera switches sides and it's fucking Greg Miller from Kind of Funny just yelling at the top of his lungs. Like, it's like, come on, Jay, come on, don't listen to him, don't listen to him. It was like, oh fuck, that's fucking super funny. Just like, of course he would be there. But yeah, having Jimmy at the last minute come and betray Jay. It's like, okay, interesting. That was the one thing a lot of people were kind of like confused about, just because you know, it's like it felt like super out of nowhere. And people like, oh, they're just dragging this story out longer now, and so it's like, bruh, it's like the story's not done yet. You know, give it time, see what they're gonna do with it, and then you can cast judgment on it. But you can't just like say outright that this story's shit now because they had another like swerve into it.
Final shape.
Final shape, exactly.
Lightfall.
Yeah, I'll save the rest of my opinions for off podcast time. I don't want to don't want to take it over with too much wrestling.
I mean, your channel. Fuck it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's got to be some overlap.
Okay, it's our channel.
Channel. All right. Speaking of a big event. Oh, excuse me.
Ooh, I think I know where we're going now.
I was hanging out with my family on Sunday. I was helping my mother-in-law clean her apartment. Coming home, I told Brian, "Hey man, you want to play some Street Fighter 6?" Like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna watch EVO." I was like, "Oh fuck, EVO!" And he's like, "It's the final." I'm like, "Oh fuck, I hope I can catch it." So,
hell yeah,
I'm driving home with my wife's there, and I was like, "Hey, pull up EVO on Twitch on my phone real quick so you can catch some of it." And she's like, "All right." She's like, "First up, there's a Ken and a JP going at it." I was like, "Really, a JP?" And fucking at the end game of Street Fighter? All right. And so we caught the end of that, and so we watched EVO, and then Brian watched it too. We were like texting each other during the matches, and
oh yeah,
that's the first time I like really sat down and watched it too. So it was, at least for me, because now I'm playing Street Fighter 6. It was really good when I came in, even though it was like the losers, quarterfinals, and finals or whatever. It was electrifying. Maximum pun intended. Holy shit. These players are amazing, and it was just good matches too. Um, we saw Luke, the new guy, right? That was cool. Chun-Li with modern controls. There was a Blanca that was tearing it up. Oh my god, dude! Like the shit he was doing. It's like, how do I do that? He fucking
dude,
who was
Menard was fucking going crazy. It
Menard
was
from
great.
yeah. Um, he like cornered a character, threw down the projectile he throws, charges up, and he was just like spamming on the wall. It's like, how? Fucking how? But yeah, it was It was dope. And of course, I'm seeing all the, I was watching on Twitch, all the chat lines, Kenergy, Kentertainment, Street Fighter Ken is,
They
oh
couldn't have
man, if
picked a
you,
better time than to come out like right after fucking the Barbie movie.
I know it was dope though. I gotta say that, yeah, all the fights were like nail bitingly close to like, yeah, it was
Dude,
just a good watch.
that match, like for Street Fighter alone, like Angry Bird was the kind of like just ripping through like the brackets for the most part, and apparently he's just been ripping through people all weekend long. But that last like grand final with him and Menard were just it was a fucking ball because Menard was doing pretty well for himself. He managed to get a reset, and then they played one more set, and Angry Bird just got the best of him.
Hmm.
But there was a lot of good players this year, and a lot of first timers too, which is cool.
Yeah.
I know you didn't watch it, but I watched Tekken 7, and again this year is proof in the pudding that fucking Pakistan has the most elite Tekken 7 players that you can ever see on the goddamn planet. Arslan Ash,
Really?
Arslan Ash, winning his fourth Evo. He won Evo Japan and Evo in 2019, and then he won Evo Japan this year, and he just won Evo this past weekend. But yeah, Pakistan has probably some of the best Tekken players, bar none. There's this really cool little mini documentary on YouTube uh, about like the whole Tekken scene in Pakistan, and it's fucking really wild. I definitely check watching out.
I'm gonna check it out. That's really interesting, actually. I didn't know it was big there. That's news to me.
So it's a 12-minute video by Corey Gaming. It's called The Miracle of Pakistani Tekken. And it's a real interesting to watch, just seeing, you know, their conditions and how they play and like what they have to go through. Cause, in the most areas, like it's not optimal as far as like playing online gaming and like just gaming in general. But like when you have instances where you have to kind of race the clock and wait for like a power outage to go out and then have the power come back on, and then when your internet cafes run a system where you don't have to pay a fee as long as you keep winning,
Oh shit!
really puts an incentive on getting good.
Damn,
and
that's
it
a good incentive. Holy
and it
shit!
really shows. Arslan Nash this year fucking killed it, and he did a great job, as well as other people too. But like Arslan Nash in general, like did a fucking fantastic job. Um,
Did you feel like it was bittersweet? I was talking to a streamer yesterday about it, and feel like with Tekken 7's, it's probably its last big hurrah. Did you feel bittersweet about it?
I think
I'd say probably. By
I
the way,
think it I think it was like for this probably being the last year that Tekken 7 will see the main stage at Evo. I think this was a really good way to go out. Like the hype was there, the crowd was into it, the players were going at it, you know, and it was a good representation of why people loved playing Tekken 7. Uh so I felt content with this being like the last big, main stage. There will probably be side events, next year and the years to come. Because like shit, we even saw fucking Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on the main stage this year. Like they
hell
always love
yeah.
to put one legacy game on the main stage. So who's to say?
Soul Calibur 6, let's go! Let's go! The person outside is happy about that.
Hey yo. But yeah, and it just all depends on when Tekken 8 comes out next year. If it comes out in time for Evo, Which I'm sure after seeing like the big reception that Street Fighter 6 got, I'm sure they probably want to try to get it out before July next year. Because that shit's gonna be wild, man. Like if they can get Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, I'm a little more iffy on DNF Duel or not DNF, Project L. I'm just a little iffy if that's gonna come out because they still haven't really shown off a ton of that game yet. So who's to say if Riot Games is gonna get it there? But like, imagine if just of course, Mortal Kombat 1. Like just those three alone
Yeah.
would make for a fantastic Evo. And it's only going to get bigger because shit, this year they were awarded the key to the Las Vegas Strip, as well as possibly setting the record for the biggest esports event like in history, and as well as officially having it become a county holiday in Vegas. I forget what county it is. I don't live in Vegas. I don't know.
7,000 people, man. That was pretty hype. And what I loved was when you play Street Fighter 6, like couch play, right? You're with someone else. They do a little intro, right? They like cheer you on. There's like a
Yeah.
music, yeah, and I could hear the audience doing it in sync
Oh,
with the fucking. I was like, that's so cool. They're like cheering with the game audio cheer. That was dope.
I want to know
That was
who was
dope.
running the event because somebody skipped the intro for the last match. I was like, you motherfuckers, you missed out on like the biggest hype moment, but that's okay. We got Memphis. We got the crowd that yell Memphis, so that's all that matters to me.
Taking them down to Memphis. That was hype.
Oh, and to even add it on, fucking Capcom with the genius idea to have a live band play renditions of Tekken or Street Fighter 6 music for
so good.
For every player to come up onto the stage. For every match they would play music like live, and they were just like stuck in like this balcony somewhere.
It was dope.
It was really cool. And they even announced some new stuff like actually today we got some TMNT content. We got some costumes and stuff for World Tour and the other modes. So that's cool. Of course, they also showed off the first reveal trailer for the next DLC fighter, Aki, who seems like is going to be like a maybe poison user of some kind, or is going to have something to do with poison, which
Poison Robo Girl calling it.
Poison Robo Girl. But yeah, dude, Evo was fun. I definitely felt FOMO a little bit. I've never been to one.
Few years we should go.
Man. Maybe. But yeah, I had a blast watching it. I pretty much watched all of Finals Day on Sunday. So I just ingested Evo all of Sunday.
It was hype.
It was hype.
And I only caught Street Fighter Finals, man. Shit. That was hype.
Oh, one announcement that was really cool and unexpected at Evo. So Iron Galaxy came out and announced that for the 10th anniversary, they are actually releasing an update for Killer Instinct. Their 10th anniversary update, which is going to have all brand new balance patches. They're going to improve the online matchmaking, as well as make a updated version for the Series X and S, which is wild because by this point everybody just thought Killer Instinct was pretty much dead. But they had a invitational on Saturday, and like right after it was over, they just like dropped that news on everybody. It's like, what? You're doing something? Like Iron Galaxy came back to work on Killer Instinct. So that makes that leads me to believe that they're gonna do this, and then they want to see who still cares about Killer Instinct, which is a lot of
Killer
people.
Instinct 2.
That's the hope, because Killer Instinct legit was one of those games that I think benefited the most from the Xbox One's launch, because it was a free to play fighting game. It played really well. The online was really good, and there's legit no barrier of entry for that game, and at the time, a lot of people were criticizing him. It was like, it's going to be a free to play game. Nobody's going to want to play that game. It's like, nah, dude. If it's a good game, it's going to fucking rock. Especially if
Mhm.
you have Mick Gordon composing the music. This is pre-Doom too. But yeah, that got me
Spinal.
excited. Made me want to re-download Killer Instincts. Especially if there's going to be new upgrades for it. I want to see what it looks like. I want to get my ass kicked a lot.
Spinal. I don't care.
Oh no.
I just know you like Spinal. You made Spinal fucking Skull Calibur as well.
Hey man, if you allow me to make a skeleton man, I'm gonna make Spinal. It doesn't matter. But yeah, overall Evo was a shit ton of fun.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at the notes, and a little bit of snafu with Marvel VXF artists. What is that about?
So they're finally filing to make their own union.
Oh.
It's not a surprise, unfortunately. We know that game companies are very overworked, and of course, visual effects artists overworked, especially in the Marvel realm. The Marvel realm.
Wham.
I'm not surprised. It's also Warner Brothers too. But yeah, good for them. Honestly, if they're filing to have a
It's about
union,
time.
honestly, this should have been. I thought this was already a thing when I don't know, maybe a year or so ago. But it makes sense. They're artists, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, of course, I'm always gonna say the mouse did it, but um, hopefully they're successful and they aren't overworked, because we all know if we work on something and we aren't overworked, it'll
Mhm.
come out really good. I mean, of course, there's like those animes where people are like, you're gonna work on this project till you die. I get that's a different work culture thing, and then the product comes out good. But you can't be overworking people and you have a great product and not expect some blowback. Come on, y'all. Like,
True.
hearing about that during, about all the Marvel movies, why She-Hulk looks bad. It didn't look that bad, but people just want to rag on it. But hearing about it with Spider-Verse, that really broke my heart. Like, they overworked them to create a product, and then saying like, I don't care, just get it done. I don't care about your breaks, or whatever. The realm of that, it's not what it is verbatim. It's something along those lines. But it's sad that it had to get to this point. Like, can't you just treat people right? It's very simple. Same thing with like, yeah, again with like gaming companies. Just don't overwork these
So
people.
so is this union just gonna be only like film VFX artists, or are they kind of trying to wrap in the gaming industry too? Which I
I
guess is
believe it's just film, but there's no reason why it can't be overlapped or brought in. I honestly, why it should be.
okay.
I believe it's only film though. I'll do
Okay.
some more research.
I mean, still,
But
that's good though. Because we've heard stories a lot recently of how VFX artists are being overworked, and giving short deadlines and not enough time to like polish things up a bit. So it's about time that they get their just due, especially since it's being relied on a shit ton more nowadays.
yeah, and
Mostly
considering that the
from,
project they do makes hella money. Speaking of the project you're about to say, what's the project, Brian? It probably doesn't even matter. They require a hell of
well, I
visual
was gonna
effects
say just
artists.
like Marvel in general.
Yeah, definitely. That's like the number one glaring one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I know there's the whole thing going on right now with the writers' strike and the actors' strike, but you know, being able to get all the corners of the film industry to get, unionized, hopefully this goes through so they can get established, and then, the only one really left is you know, the crew workers.
Crew and gaming. That would be great. That would
So I
be
think
great.
gaming is going to be a little bit more interesting just because it seems like for at least gaming, they have to make unions based on studios. Because that's what we've been seeing. Like, I think the most recent one was Sega, the Sega workers were ramping up their vote to make a union, which is cool. You know,
Good.
I wish a lot more game studios would do that. Especially with a lot of fucking big firings we've had since the beginning of the year, and it still keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice to know that at least, you know, the people that make games that we like to play will get uh covered. Just like the same thing as people that we like that make movies and TV and streaming stuff will get,
Yeah.
taken care of. So hey, good for VFX artists. They need the protection that they sorely been lacking for way too long.
Did you see what the Arrow actor said on Twitter?
Which one?
Well, the Stephen Amell, the actor for the Arrow, was just
Oh
saying
no.
the effectiveness of strikes. He doesn't see like the point, I guess.
Oh no, I
And
did hear about that. He said that
yeah,
he says he doesn't, you know, say anything bad about the people that are striking, but he personally himself thinks that strikes don't matter.
bro. And okay, it's like that's a bad take, y'all, but whatever. I mean, a
I
guy's probably
mean,
still gonna find work. But the kicker was,
Heal
I
season
wish
2 coming out soon.
um, I wish the thing that was like, oh, that was eye opening for me was he said like, I wish when I said that things at conventions were kept behind closed doors. It's like, what? You're at a panel
Wait,
at a
what?
convention, dog. It's gonna get out. Like, come on,
I
man.
mean, especially if it's a panel that's recorded and streamed on
For a
YouTube.
celebrity actor too? What the fuck are you thinking?
Okay.
This is bizarre. Who knows? Maybe he was just hella high, or maybe WB is like, we need a fall guy. It's him. They're like, here's a lump sum of money. Say some dumb shit. Get the heat off us. Um, shit. I don't
We'll
know.
increase the budget to heals.
I mean, maybe same for Zachary Levi. Apparently, he said the same thing, but then walked it back. So
Zachary
WB,
Levi's been saying a lot of weird stuff, so
yeah, WB, you throwing money to get us from not looking? You trying to get us to look the other way? It's just weird. It's just like,
I mean, what they could just cut some trees down.
you could. How about you fucking treat your up and coming actors and pay them their residuals? Do that, man. It's
Bum,
just
bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
too hard, apparently.
It'd be too easy.
No, just I need my money. Millions of dollars for this project I said yes
Why
to.
why would Warner Brothers want to throw their money down the toilet for something important?
Oh wait, they've done it before. Tax write-offs. Anyway, just wanted to be like, man, like what? What? Talking about
Man.
movies not related to that, I think.
Oh.
So I shared with Brian today. Apparently Godzilla Fest was announced. They had an official poster. It's going to be in Tokyo, November 2023. But what's hype for me is apparently, according to what was the outlet that shared it? Kaiju News Outlet. They said there's going to be like a Jet Jaguar short, and I fucking love Jet Jaguar and
Hey, there
Godzilla
you
versus
go.
Megalon. I'm wondering if it's going to be like how they redid Godzilla versus the Smog Monster that came out a couple years ago. I was just rewatching it too. Are they going to do something like that, like a short little Jet Jaguar? He fights Megalon. We haven't seen Megalon in a minute. I mean, we'll always see Gigan, I feel, but that'd be
Yeah.
a nice little 5-minute team up with Godzilla. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Little
Get a new
Ducks.
version or not like a new version, but like a enhanced version of Jet Jaguar. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Probably gonna move around like Ultraman doing flips and kicks and shit. I'm down.
Man,
But it's a cool
the
announcement.
Godzilla Fest just in time for fucking 01 to come out, or
Yeah,
minus
they
zero, whatever the fuck it's called.
-1. Yeah, they plan that shit. I was also thinking today, like not sort of related, but not, but like, does Godzilla -1 meaning like it's in between? It's like it's a new story before like the first Godzilla, like in a timeline. Is that why it's called -1?
So,
Because there is like the first Godzilla. I'm just like trying to think about like why did they call it -1?
so what I'm thinking
Like
what I'm thinking is it probably is a reimagining of the original Godzilla for like a
that's
new
what I'm thinking
era.
too. Yeah.
That's what it seems like. If it's based off of like post World War II, that's probably what it seems to be heading towards. Is just kind of like they're going with a new version of Godzilla to make into a series, because at least as of late, they've been really like being more experimental with Godzilla, with making like one-offs and more animated series, like with Godzilla
Mhm.
Earth and the most recent Singularity Point, and of course they had the Shin Godzilla and the Hollywood
Mhm.
Godzilla. So maybe this is like a whole new starting point for a ongoing series of movies, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Especially since it seems like the Shin era is over now.
At least for now. We
So we'll
got
see.
Shin
I know.
Evangelion.
Well, apparently the animated Evangelion that was made a while ago is considered the Shin Eva in the series.
Interesting.
So I know that they're really pitching to try to make a second Kamen Rider and like a
I would
second
love that.
Ultraman.
I would love that.
A while ago, he tried to pitch a second Godzilla, but I think Toho like shot it down. Like they said, they were taking Godzilla in a different direction. So maybe we'll get some more Shin. But as for now, we're getting new Godzilla and apparently a new Jet Jaguar short. So that's cool.
Hell yeah.
I'm
I'm
always
hyped.
down for more kaiju stuff.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, the Kaiju 8, the anime.
Oh yeah, they released their first
Yeah.
trailer at GenCon. Oh god, I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
I was a little worried when they released their first like character models for it. But after watching the trailer, bro, it looks so good. I can't wait. Kaiju number 8 is such a cool new little manga series, and now it's gonna be an anime, which is kind of interesting because I can't remember the last time there was an like a quick adaptation to anime of a manga. Of course, I will admit right now I am the not like super heavy into like the scene. I am a very casual like anime fan, so I don't know. But like shit, they just, at least in the US, they just released volume 7 of the manga. It's not that far along to already have an anime coming out. So shit. Sign me up. I'll watch it. Did you
Still
start
need to
reading it
finish
yet?
the No. When I saw that they had a trailer, I was like, all right, I better start reading it soon.
Bruh, dude.
I,
You're gonna like it.
I gotta finish Ultraman on Netflix. Shit, man. I forgot. I keep forgetting about it. That one's usually short too. But, I'll get to that. But yeah, it's exciting. Woo! More kaiju suit ups. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
do it.
fucking go.
Such an interesting story too. I love it.
I'll get to it soon. I'll get to it.
Hell yeah. Let's see.
Oh, and then apparently there's more kaiju. There's for those who know, there's this like giant like kaiju turtle. It's more peaceful
Oh,
than Godzilla
Gamer?
called Gamera. There's gonna be a show, like an animated show.
Oh,
Gamera. Yeah, same people who I found the Godzilla news, Kaiju news outlet. They shared like a quick still. It's like Gamera underwater, and
that's
it's like gonna be a
interesting.
show apparently. Yeah, so I I mean, I barely know about Gamera, so it'll be. I'll check it out. It'll
Yeah.
be new for me. I know he's supposed to be like the more peaceful. Like Godzilla's kind of more like anti-hero, or does I do what I fucking want?
Like
And
I know,
Gamera's like actually like the protector of the people.
like I know it was very popular back in the day. Yeah. But at least as of late, the Gamera hasn't been really on the radar. So it's really interesting that they're diving back into the well. I guess they kind of want to expand their kaiju universe a little bit more. So that's hey, like I just said, like more kaiju stuff, the better. Let's fucking go. All right, you know,
Godzilla Showdown. Are we finally getting it?
maybe. Who knows?
Emperor Godzilla.
All I know is that we should be getting another Godzilla King Kong movie soon too.
Right? Isn't that Godzilla
Next year.
versus Kong 2? Isn't or sub versus someone?
It's
That's what I
something like
heard.
that. It's like they had that little like teaser,
Yeah.
like showing off like a new like con-ish like kaiju. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. So
It's gonna be the squid. It's gonna be a giant lobster from the sea monster. Megalon? Is it Megalon? Come on, that
is it
makes sense.
Megalon?
Hollow Earth. It's a bug underground. I see it. I see it. I'm just saying, Megalon and Gigan throw in a little jet jaguar. I just
Legendary,
hope
you
they're not
listening?
working on it during the strike. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Well, probably not,
I hope not.
because I haven't heard
Push that
anything
movie
about
back.
it.
Make it as good as you can. Take all the time you can for King Kong versus Godzilla 2. I didn't even think we were gonna get a new one for a very long time. In fact, we got one in like 2020. Still blows my mind. So.
I know. I'm still a little sad that it wasn't in theaters, but you know, for a good reason.
Yeah,
for good reason.
Maybe one day they'll do like a theatrical release, and or maybe leading up to next thing. Now they did it with Avengers. You can watch the movies leading up to. They might do like a Godzilla fest.
Ooh, that'd be neat.
Be cool.
I'd be down. Let's see. Yeah, I think oh, um just like a quick little mini update, I should say. So in Fortnite they just released their newest anime collaboration with the Jujutsu Kaisen.
Nice.
Now I haven't like really watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I've seen like a few episodes, so I'm kind of like unfamiliar with a lot of stuff that goes on in it. But it's really cool to see more, like ever since that Naruto collaboration, we've just been seeing more and more anime kind of like get represented in Fortnite, which is really sick. But also apparently they are doing another wrestling collaboration, and we're going to be adding Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair into it too.
Nice.
So Fortnite is just becoming more and more like the universal conglomerate of everything pop culture and whatnot, which is interesting.
They're making a Borderlands movie, but are they gonna make a fucking Fortnite movie?
Oh, bro,
It's gonna have
did
all
we
these
did
like
we talk
Ready
about
Player
that?
One references.
Did we talk about that? The fact that the Borderlands movie is still actually a thing.
Yeah. I remember they
I
released
thought
the
that
still
died.
with the still during all the SAG after strike thing. I was like, I don't know if this was a good time to put that out. Borderlands movie, but they did. Showed the silhouette.
No
Of the
offense to the
actors.
people in the movie. They're good actors and they're great. I have zero excitement for this movie.
It was fun when we played it.
Oh no, it was a fun time.
Years ago. But yeah, I think I'm reserving judgment until I see a trailer for sure. I'm sure they're gonna do the Mario route, kind of make it appealing to everyone. Still, kind of retain some of its, crude humor. I mean, Mario wasn't crude, but you know what I'm saying? Like they'll adapt it kind of new and make it fun, but still Borderlandsy.
What makes me worried is that Gearbox is really close to this project, and I kind of feel like that they are gonna make this as early 2000s as Borderlands was.
Oh, Borderlands 1 though was the end game for that was bad. A base game, I should say. Base end game was woo. Ooh, excuse me.
I am just ready to cringe at the early 2000s humor that I can guarantee will be in that trailer.
I hope you're wrong for both our things.
We'll see. We'll see.
What do you think we're gonna see first? Borderlands or Craven? What do you think? What do you think is gonna come out first?
Did Craven get pushed back?
It did to next year because of the strikes. Guess they were still working on it.
I don't know. And honestly, I don't know which one I'm least excited for, to be honest.
By the way, us talking about it, we're not promoting it. Just want to shout that out.
No, I'm dunking. I'm dunking on it.
No, I'm just saying, power to all the actors. Get paid, all levels of actors. Get fair wages. But yeah,
if it's anything close to Morbius, I'm actively telling people to not see it.
It's probably Venom level good.
Don't get my hopes up like that.
I'll watch Venom 2.
I'll watch Venom.
You and me are the only people who are gonna watch Venom, dude.
I know it's shit, but it's shit that it'll at least entertain me.
Probably it's gonna be above Morbius, but below Venom 2. That's what I'm gonna say. And of course, it won't even come close to the Spider-Verse movies because that's S tier amazement.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I'll watch it for you.
Okay. I mean, I'll probably see it just because I feel obligated to, but I'm not going to sugarcoat
it. So, least interested. I'm still stuck on that.
Hey, man. Like, Sony Animation is doing fantastic work. They're doing, like, grade A, like, quality work, you know, asterisk with, like, how the animators are being treated a little bit, asterisk, but they're doing fantastic work. Sony live action, fucking couldn't give a shit.
I mean, I like Amazing Spider-Man 1, the 2. I like 2.
Well, I'm not talking about the early 2010s, like Sony. I'm talking about modern day. The people that gave us Morbius, the Morbin era of Sony, is not something I vibe with. Thank you very much. Can leave that shit in the garbage where it belongs.
Oh man.
I don't know.
They're probably gonna make a Sinister something.
Sinister, can you fucking keep the $6 in my wallet? Because I will not even go to a matinee for that.
You know, if they made it like interesting villains against Venom, I'd watch it. Of course, Spider-Man has to be there too, but probably won't have to be some weird version.
Have you heard I know there's been rumors about this, but have you heard like the more recent rumors about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4?
Yeah, I've been seeing a pop-up like every day. There's a new one about Spider-Man 4 or Amazing Spider-Man 3 at 2.
Which one would you be more interested in?
Amazing Spider-Man 3. I want to see that story close. The problem is with Amazing Spider-Man 2, they tried to do Spider-Man 3 again. They try to put too much in it again. I would like to just see that because I'm that kind of person. I want to see that story close. Like they could just end it. Boom. Like that's okay. I don't need an Amazing Spider-Man 4. I need an Amazing Spider-Man 5. Just end that story.
Honestly, I think at least for like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, I felt like No Way Home was like a good closer because like not only did he kind of like be able to prove that he can be the Spider-Man of old that he once was, but he also kind of got redemption for what happened to Gwen.
True.
So it's like, I don't know. Personally, for me, I don't know where they could take us. Amazing Spider-Man 3 since they kind of made it like at least like somewhat of a decent like cathartic like end for that version of Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it was.
I don't know. Like for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I'm also trying to see like where they could take that to. I don't exactly know.
I think the original idea was the Vulture, and then they reused it for Tom Holland.
Oh,
They were
really?
going to do an old Vulture against Tobey
Really? They
Maguire.
were gonna try to go from like Venom to oh Venom to fucking to Vulture?
I mean, now that the Spider-Verse is open, they can do anything, honestly. Um, I would still watch a Toby 4, but I just feel like No Way Home still did wrap up both their stories pretty good, though. I feel like Toby's was already done, but yeah, it was. I don't know.
Although now you kind of live in a world where Doc Ock is back, but it's
Mhm.
it's it's Otto Octavius instead of Doc Ock, so
Mhm. It's a new world to conquer.
I don't know. Although I kind of don't see why, unless if they really wanted to like bring one of them back for like their Sinister Six universe bullshit. I don't see
Yeah,
why
that's right.
Sony would want to go back on that when the Tom Holland Spider-Man's doing so well.
What kind of food they have here?
Oh my god. That is an interesting question. What the fuck happened to Vulture?
Hanging out with Morbius, eating
shouldn't
hot
shouldn't he,
dogs.
shouldn't he have come back? They took Venom back, kind of.
Oh, who fucking
That's
knows?
that's another thing because they still need to fucking tie that shit up. Having a little bit of symbiote. Uh, Spoiler alert, I guess.
Or they won't. They'll
Or
Amazing Spider-Man 2
or
it.
yeah, or they'll just say fuck it. Who
I mean,
cares?
there's a rumor that Bad Bunny's going to be a Marvel anti-hero.
Ooh.
I saw a rumor for a while that Amazon was working on a Silk movie.
Oh yeah,
So who
I heard that.
knows?
Wait, Amazon was working on a Silk movie?
Yeah, it was Amazon Studios of all things. They
I
had the
thought
rights or some shit.
that's where
I
I
don't know if
thought
that's true.
I swore I thought Disney was planning on
Oh
a
well,
Disney Plus show.
maybe I combined it in my head. But
That'd be very random for like Amazon be holding on to like Silk for so long. It's like now's our chance when half of the audience is getting fucking sick and tired of this bullshit.
who knows? I don't know, man.
Hey, you know what?
Spotter man, Spotter
You know
man.
what? They can make the Cravens. They can make the whatever else the fuck they want to make.
Wicked Wall.
All I know is that
Scorpion 3.
I'll be waiting for the next Spider-Man movie. That's the shit I'll see. If it says Spider-Man, Spider-Man's in it, I'll go see it. Morbius, I don't know. Not even for the memes. I don't know.
Not even good memes. That. Not even good.
Bruh. When the best memes were made by people that didn't see the movie. Come on.
It was
It's a
Morbin
layup.
time. Oh, you know what I forgot to say? I think last thing, I think we've hit our end unless you have some more things, which I'm totally down to
Yep.
feel about using the cipher system.
Oh yeah, we did that. So for those of you who know, I've been, trying to make a homebrewed D&D campaign based around Devil May Cry. So I looked into the Cipher system, which is an alternative to D&D, and decided to test it out this past week. And I don't know about you, but it kind of went off to an interesting place.
It was fun. Oh my god. Can you stop, machine? I just wanted you to turn the
The
lights.
AI is the AI is taking over.
They didn't like the Morbin time comment. Yeah, so Brian here got to try out a new system. Like I use the D&D 5e loosely. Tried the Cypher system and putting out papers for us. He had the whole book too. I don't have a book. Matt
I
has
was
books. I think
prepared.
Adam has books. You were very prepared. And of course we played with a couple. You know, there was me. Yeah, a couple other people who've DM'd, and our chaotic friend Rian was there. Your partner was there, and it was super fun. You know, we made Transformers characters with unique abilities. We did like a session 0, and of course one of our friends was chaotic as fuck and started blowing shit up. But it
Badly,
was, I
might
thought
I
it was
add.
fun. You know, we haven't fully. I mean, I have some thoughts on the Cypher system. There's a couple things I really like that I'm already taking. But I think I don't know why I had to say think 3 times. I need more time with Cypher system too. Like, cause I like 5e, like we got down, right? I want
Okay,
to spend more time with it.
well, since we're here, I've been studying on this shit for like the past 3 months. So I'm interested to get your, because I know we talked a little bit afterwards, but I kind of want to get, now that it's like had time to digest and kind of ruminate, I just want to get your opinions on the Cypher system a little bit. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
It's cool, very accessible, early on, easy. The dice a lot less needed. The way they go about, like, let's say it was a challenge. You're talking about challenge levels, right? I'm going to try to dumb it down, explain it how I think it's right. So let's say it's a challenge level 2. That
Yeah.
means you have to roll above X. It took me a minute to get that. It even says it. It's really
Yeah,
simple
so
though.
it's
It's like,
like
oh,
you take the
yeah,
number and then you times it
go
by
ahead.
3.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, how does this work? It's like, oh, okay. It's just the way it's worded because it's new, right? I was like, and once
Mm-hmm.
you started explaining, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Um, yeah, I think I just need more time to, but I like how we could jump in quick. It's still role playing fun. The descriptors we chose kind of lead us into the characters we're going to become. I like that. Instead of
It's
like,
very
this is what
character
you want to
friendly.
be. Yeah, like based on what you want, like the words you choose, it'll make your character, as opposed to make, like a straight up character creator, and then you get your descriptors, right? Or you incorporate those later. It's like, no, what's your character now, and this is what they're gonna be, and then you're set. I like that. I felt faster. I mean, I know there's a lot of us also looking at the book,
Mm-hmm.
but I just felt like that felt more, at least to me, filled, concrete, at least. And plus we have like motivations, which I'm not always good at like giving you guys. But I just felt like that it's made very clear from the start and how you think and operate. So
Mm-hmm. I will say I did underestimate the process, because I've only been like looking at it. I haven't had This is my first time actually being able to implement like the character creation and the uh the gameplay for the Cypher system. So it was really interesting to see how you guys would react. I did find it interesting that I kind of guessed who would use the effort system a lot, to a point where after like our session was done with, I was like, how much effort did some of these people use? Because like you're using your pool, that's also your life. So it's just like, what the wait. It's like, how much did people fucking use? I have to double check. Hopefully people
I mean, there might
saved
be
where they
some
were.
confusion. We'll figure it out. But I mean, it is akin to what, like, I think I said it's akin to pushing it, and that might have thrown some confusion. Pushing it, for those who don't know, it's a new thing I just picked up from the other D&D group I'm with. It's essentially, if you fail your roll, you could try again, but if you, depending on how you roll, there's consequences. So you
Hmm.
get what you want, but so as opposed to like do the roll, you don't get it, boom. It's like, no, I want to push it. I want to try again, even harder, no matter what. And that's what pushing it is. And I think effort is kind of like that, but you have a limited pool of that, though, right? Like you can only
So
push it X amount of times. It's not like my campaign where you push it and push it and push it, and you just
so
see what happens.
yeah, because like instead of like for you pushing it is like trying again, and then if you succeed, cool. And if you don't succeed, there's a penalty. Whereas for Cypher system for effort, um, it's like you have to spend 3 from a certain pool depending on what your task is, you know, to have it be like less difficult. But the
Yeah.
downside to that is regardless if you succeed or fail, you're still taking points out of your pool, which is also your life. So like you could be
I just want to say, I think that's cool. Like you're giving a piece of yourself to try this. And then that's how it balances out. I just want to say that I really like that part.
Mhm. Yeah, it was really cool to actually start to implement it and see how it goes. Um but yeah, hopefully we can get together again real soon. We can keep playing that and kind of expand upon it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um I just remembered before we kind of wrap this up. Um there was a Pokemon Presents today in the wee hours of the morning,
Mm.
and a lot of
Oh, you
people
know what? I saw it too.
were underwhelmed by it.
I saw one of the memes was like, this could have been an email with Pikachu above it. I was like, oh no.
So I can understand why people were underwhelmed, because I feel like nowadays whenever a company has announces like a showcase or a direct or a presentation, whatever, they're expecting something that'll amaze them. Um at least for like the Pokemon company, unless if it's Pokemon Day, it's never really that wild. Because like we got some, updates on like certain games, I have a list here. I'm just gonna kind of go through a little bit.
Hmm.
They announced for the Nintendo Online today the Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color is on the Game Boy Online. And then for the N64, we have the Pokemon Stadium 2, which I believe has online implementations into it. So that's neat. Because I
We're
know
getting Pokemon Stadium 3.
because they released the first Pokemon Stadium a while ago, so now they're adding that. I think for this announcement, a lot of people are criticizing it because they're like, "Well, where's the it's the Game Boy, so where's like red and blue? Where's gold and silver?" It's like, okay, I understand. This is me. This is me thinking with the logic brain. As cool as it would be to have the original games on that service, there is no way in fucking hell Pokemon or the Pokemon Company is going to release those games for technically free. It's like, yeah,
Oh
you have to
no.
pay the membership for Nintendo Online, but there is no way they're going to release those games for for the membership or the online. No way. It makes more sense that they would either remake them or re-release them to make money off
Hmm.
of them. The same thing they did for the 3DS. They released them a la carte. You paid like 20 bucks or whatever. Not 20, but you paid like, you know, a certain amount of money for them to play them again. So I can understand that people would really want to have them on their Switch, but Pokemon Company is going to make you pay for them if they ever decide to do that, which I kind of doubt because they really want people to focus on their current games a lot more. Uh, which they also showed off more of the expansions for the game. So they showed off a little bit more about what you're going to do in the 2 expansions. The first expansion comes out in September, and we saw a little bit more of the new Pokemon you might see. Some Pokemon you haven't seen yet in the game, whether they're old or new. So the one thing, Joel, I want you to look this up actually.
Think
They
my Pokebank Pokemon are still alive? I think they're dead.
well, maybe, who knows? But
Long dead.
but they released two new kind of paradox forms of Pokemon, and they have a paradox version of Raikou, which
Oh, is it the one
looks,
with the long neck? I saw that
yeah.
shit all over X today.
So people that are watching or
That's
listening
so
is look it
funny.
up. It's goofy as shit.
Why?
You know what? I'm gonna actually look.
I like this Pinterest one, but that's not it.
But yeah, it is like some of the goofiest looking shit.
Why a giraffe? I mean, giraffes, if you like giraffes, cool, but I just feel like I mean, I guess Pokemon artists do what Pokemon artists do. But what's the
Yeah,
other Paradox Storm one?
and it's like like a mechanized Cobelian, which looks fine.
Oh, dude, that sounds
It looks
sick.
cool, but yeah, they released a Suicune one in a raid that looks like a raptor kind of thing, and it just looks goofy and silly. And a lot of people are like worried now because they have Suicune and Raikou, which means Entei has to be around the corner, and it'll probably
Yeah.
also look goofy as fuck. So I don't know. I personally don't like it. It looks stupid.
I'm
Um,
all in on this mecha fucking Paradox
the Mecha
Cobalion.
one looks great. Um, but yeah, they showed off the expansions. They announced that there's gonna be like a Mew
I
and
did see
Mewtwo.
this Raptor one.
There's
Sorry,
good.
go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. There's gonna be like a Mew and Mewtwo event in the game where actually, as of right now, there's a code that you can put in mystery gift to get a Mew, and then I believe also in September, a little bit around the time where the first expansion comes out, there's going to be a special Mewtwo raid that you can do to try to catch Mewtwo. Um, it's kind of under the consensus for most players that the raids for Scarlet and Violet are garbage.
Really?
They're not great.
I know people didn't like the ones from Sword and Shield. What was the difference?
I personally prefer the Sword and Shield ones. So for the Scarlet and Violet games for their raids, um, the whole idea of the mechanic is that unlike Sword and Shield, everybody was able to go at the same time. So everybody kind of has their turn at the same time.
Yeah.
They they had special trainer abilities that kind of boost like defense or attack or heal other Pokemon, which is cool. Um, the only issue is that the game servers aren't great. So a lot of the time, the game is trying to catch up with all of the inputs that are going on at the same time. So you're literally sitting there as the game's processing what everybody's doing. But at the same time, these raids are timed for like maximum 10 minutes. You see that timer still going down as the game's processing commands.
Oh, that's not cool.
So
That's whack.
games are literally slowing down, but the timer's still going at the same rate. Especially if people start getting knocked out, the timer gets shortened. So like people are literally lagging out and fucking up a raid and no one can do anything about it. Because if you hard quit a raid, it blocks you out for a certain amount of time and you can't raid.
Yeah.
I honestly gave up raiding a long time ago, especially because it got to a point where you had to be very meta about the game. And I honestly, I'm not the type of player that likes to play meta. To me, it's very boring. So I kind of just gave up on raiding for the most part. I might do the Mewtwo one, but then also again, I have Mewtwo's. Like I have Mewtwo's in my Pokemon Home, and I have Mewtwo's in my fucking Pokemon Go game. So it's like I don't need another Mewtwo. People are kind of underwhelmed about that. They gave, other than that, they kind of gave updates for their mobile games, like Unite and Cafe Remix and stuff like that. They had a trailer for the new Detective Pikachu game, which looks fine. It's not amazing. It's not wow. It kind of still looks like a 3DS game as far as graphics are concerned. So I know there's some people that like the Detective Pikachu game. So I was, I'm not yucking anyone's yum.
You heard it here. He hates Detective Pikachu.
I never played the first one, so I have no idea. I only saw the movie,
Play any of them.
and the movie
Yeah,
was
I just saw the
fine.
movie
The movie was fun.
with
Um,
Deadpool.
the one thing I got pretty excited about is that they announced actually a few interesting little animated series. They had a trailer for the new like official like anime that's coming out, and they had two new like short series that they've been doing because like Pokemon Company's been making over the years these like short formed animated series that they put on YouTube. They're like 10 minutes or so long for each episode.
Rayquaza one in space. That
Um,
shit was sick.
yeah, that one was cool. But they released one that is based around the new video game. So it's called Paldean Winds, and it's kind of like a short form animated web series that's just gonna like focus on some students at the school, and then you're gonna get to meet some of the main trainers from the game and kind of have just like a fun little adventure with that. The one that's really interesting to me is that they are making a short animated series based around the card game.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So it's kind of like Pokemon's own kind of little mini Yu-Gi-Oh thing where it's about this kid who gets introduced to the Pokemon card game, and then she learns how to play, and she gets really into it, and it becomes this whole like huge deal. What I thought was interesting is that they're calling it Pokemon Path to the Peak, which if anybody that plays the card game is very familiar because that is the name of a card in the card game. It's a stadium card that has been very popularly used since it's been released. So it's kind of like a nice little like a little tip of the hat to the TCG community a little bit. But it looks really cute, and the animation style is actually really interesting. So I would highly recommend checking the trailers for those things out. But yeah, as the internet does, they were not very impressed with the present, and so they kind of, you know, were kind of giving their own fan hypothetical present and what they would wanted to see, which I kind of understand because right now it's the middle of the summer. You know, Pokemon is kind of more focused on the World Championships because that's coming up in like a week or so. So that's what they're really focused on. They had like a big, huge, like 10-minute video at the beginning because this is like the first World Championships that's like at Japan. So they're making like a big deal of it, which they should because it's the World Championships. It's like the biggest event they do, and it's in the home country of said
Home turf.
franchise. So it makes sense. But yeah, there was people that weren't really happy about it. Me personally, I wasn't expecting too much because, you know, obviously the expansions for Scarlet and Violet are like the biggest thing that they're working on right now, especially since, I'm hoping they're still kind of working on patching the game up a little bit, because there's still things that need to be fixed in it. So I wasn't expecting to see any like new big games because I know a lot of people are kind of hoping for like a new Legends game. Um, but I don't
Need to
know.
finish Arceus shit.
I honestly gave up on Arceus. I had my fun and I didn't want to finish the game because I did not like the battle mechanics at all. I honestly hated it so much. I like the catching and I like the exploring and adventuring, but when it came to
Yeah.
actually doing Pokemon battles, I fucking hated it so much. It was confusing and I don't know. I thought it was weird that you could battle multiple Pokemon at once, but you can only have one Pokemon out. And so it's like it became like almost to a point where it was like 3 against 1. I'm like, why? It's like
A
I
little bit
have.
like Street Fighter 6, a little bit. They run
It's
around
like,
and do the move.
are we so far into the past where people couldn't comprehend using 2 Pokemon at once? I don't fucking. It's like I don't get it. But I digress about that. Yeah, I'm assuming that there's going to be another Pokemon Presents closer to Pokemon Day. You know, or like the anniversary of like Pokemon. So I don't know. We'll see. You know, I'm going to be one of those problematic players where, you know, I already pre-bought the expansions, and when they come out, I'm going to play them because, you know, as you can see, I like Pokemon a little bit. So to each their own. You know, not everybody's going to like everything. So I know I didn't like a lot of stuff in the present, but I'm not like super like, you know, damn you, Pokemon Company, for not giving us what we want. It's like,
Are you in airport, Brian? Do you have to let everyone know you're leaving Pokemon?
oh fuck no, Pokemon's got the hooks into me deep. I can't get away from it.
That and Disney.
That and Disney, for better or for worse. But I digress. That's pretty much all I had on the docket. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about before we wrap it up?
There's a new Ultraman monster that looks like Mechagodzilla, and I'm very curious. So I'm probably gonna
Ooh.
watch the YouTube fight. It's called Earth Garon or Garon. So Garon, Earth Garon. It's literally like Kiryu, but different color scheme. So I'm probably gonna watch that in a minute. Just watch some mecha hit each other and be pleasantly amused.
Post that in the Discord. I want to see that.
Got you. Well, let me make sure it's the right fight, not some like ban edit.
Okay. Well, while you do that, I want to just kind of give a little shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate y'all. Of course,
Yeah.
I
Wait,
know.
Brian, before you continue.
Oh,
Thank you
yes.
to those who watched our last video with Glorbo. I didn't think Glorbo was going to get us 100 views. And for, I don't know, I think that's a really big deal. So thank you
That
so
is
much
a good deal
for watching. Whether you watch for 5 seconds or 500 minutes, whatever. Just thank you so much. It means a lot, especially for the shorts too. Thank you. If you've been watching us, thank you. It's just cool to see like, hey, we got a big spike. I mean, internet comes and goes, as I always say. Yeah, appreciate that. So thank you. Just wanted to say that real quick.
For sure. We do appreciate y'all. And you know, it's always really cool to kind of see that, you know, that you guys are there. We're, you know, slowly but surely creating this big huge community where all of us can kind of just come together and, you know, enjoy what we like and share that enjoyment with everybody. We really do appreciate y'all. We all care about y'all a lot. So of course, for anyone out there watching this in VOD or watching or listening to podcasts, wherever you can, please be sure to leave a comment. You know, rate the podcast if you can. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what we can improve on, what you want to see more, because we want to get your feedback. We want to make sure that we can mold this podcast and this show and the stream into, you know, something that everybody can enjoy and everybody can have fun and be involved in. So, you know, leave a comment, come see the live stream, come be in the chat, talk with us, talk with everybody else. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. You know, we're only, you know, moving onward and upward, you know, so it's been a wild ride and it's gonna get even wilder. So until the next time, Joel, I mentioned the comic section and, you know, the podcast ratings, stuff like that. But, you know, if there's anywhere else that people could leave, you know, criticisms or, you know, of the what, like, where would they do that?
It's with an email at unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. You say it slow this time. I always say fast. unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. We would love the engagement. Good, even bad, neutral, suggestions, constructive critiques, of course. greatly appreciated. If it's just straight up, you guys suck, of course we get those. We're not gonna. We'll dunk on you in private. That's it. Anyway, we would love the engagement on Twitter, sorry, X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads. Am I forgetting one? I think that's the big five. I have it written down somewhere. Anyway, hit us with your takes, what you thought of our takes. Oh yeah, YouTube, duh. Hit that subscribe button too. Let us know. Check out United We Nerd Rewind
Yeah.
as well for replays. But yeah, we would love the engagement. If you thought we had a great take, or even if you thought my Destiny take, I'm licking the billionaire's boots. Shit, let me know. Maybe I'll have a retort. I won't be rude unless you're rude. So, again, United We Nerdcast, gmail.com. Be respectful. Ryan,
Hell yeah.
hey, I want to listen to me talk about Destiny for 5 hours. Where can they find you specifically?
Well, of course, you could find me at X, Twitter. I really hate saying X. You can find me on Twitter. You can find
Let's
me
just
on
call it
Instagram.
Twix. I'm gonna call it Twix from now on.
Man, now I just want a Twix. Fuck. Well, you can find
Not
me
sponsored
there.
by them yet.
You can find me on Instagram, on Threads. You can find me on TikTok as well. You can just find me on the internet. Just look for Brian Saber, and you'll probably find the right guy. You'll notice the hair and the and whatnot. But Joel, what if they do want to listen to people complain about Destiny 2 a lot more?
God.
Where could they find
no.
you in those takes?
I'm on Twitch and Kick under Mad Mech Monster Mine now. So find me there. Also on Spotify and SoundCloud where my music is. So yeah, I just uploaded a video to Twitch. I did the Street Fighter ending for the World Tour, at least one of them. There probably is more. So go check that out. Yeah, I'm on X, but whatever. Just go to the United We Nerd one. Check out our merch too. We got merch. I always forget to say that too. We got shirts, we got
That's
hats, we
right.
got beanies. Get them.
We just dropped some Weekend Warrior merch
Yeah.
on our Stream Element store, so go check that out if you want to, rock some of the merch. Of course, also, sometime this weekend we will be hopefully doing another Weekend Warrior stream. I know we've been missing the past 2 weeks. Weekends have been a little busy, but I feel like this weekend we can work something out, whether it be in the afternoon or in the evening. But be sure to just follow us on the socials, and you'll know when we will go live. But yeah, I think that will do it for us for this week. We appreciate everybody watching us live. We appreciate y'all either listening or watching this in the on-demand realm. Hope everybody has a good week. And of course, this has been the United We Nerd Podcast, and we always like to remind you to keep on nerding. Yeah!
Yeah.